we might be in an emotionally abusive relationship or environment, and we don't even know we have been emotionally
At the
abused.
lady
Like,
back. Called the lady back and was like, "Is this you? Were you the one that responded?" And
So
she was like, "Yes, that is not you."
He knows.
I'm telling
There
you.
are bosses that will make you feel like you don't know anything. You get even when you even after years of
People
experience.
that are in that field of abusing people emotionally, they tend to feed on your weakness.
When we have that kind of systems in a police station where they don't even take physical abuse seriously, is it now me that will now go to the police station and say my husband is emotionally abusing?
or crosses the boundary for me, I immediately respond and I react in a tone that shows that you would not try this thing with me again.
Hi guys, welcome to the Truth and Tale podcast with your co-host Victoria and
Yemi?
Okay, so on today's podcast we'll be talking about a topic that honestly I feel like we don't talk about enough. I feel like this particular topic is something that we know, we hint it, but we don't give it the importance that I think it deserves, because I feel like this topic or this particular issue happens more than a lot of other issues that we usually focus on. Don't worry, what I'm saying will make sense in a few minutes. It is much more important, it's much more rampant, okay? It happens more often than some of the issues that we actually talk about, okay? It happens in marriages, it happens in offices, it happens even from parents to children, it happens from husband and wives, it happens literally everywhere. And I believe that this particular issue is the number one cause of suicide in relationships, yes, regardless of the kind of relationship. But okay, so what exactly are we talking about? So today we are talking about emotional abuse. Yes, you heard us right, emotional abuse. So to start, of course, as we usually do, we start with the truth or the tales of today. So today we're starting with the truth of today, which is actually someone talking about her own truth. Okay, so Yemi will be taking us through that.
We're going to have the truth of the day today, and I'll be reading that very quickly. So it says, my ex used to use the silent treatment as a way of punishment. He knew how bad my anxiety was and wouldn't respond to me for days at a time. Now, when people don't answer me, I immediately panic in fear. Emotionally abusive relationships really F you up, even years later. So that's it. That's the person's truth, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So the partner uses silent treatment as a way of punishment, even after knowing that, she has really bad anxiety. And she's always in, panic mode when people don't answer her, so it's more like the partner is kind of weaponizing that. I don't know. He's just kind of using it against her. So that's going to be our truth for today.
I think that's, I like what you said about him weaponizing that trait in her, because emotional abuse actually is kind of, I think it uses manipulation, right? And one thing about this topic that makes it so personal to me is that sometimes we can be in an emotional abusive relationship and we don't even know it. Okay, because you know that instance where, do you know the way people talk about physical abuse? Like, if he beat you, leave. If he touch you, leave. If he slap you once, run away, and stuff like that. And I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I was reading a story today on social media where a man actually beat his wife to death, and she knew that whenever that man is drunk, like literally he gets abusive, he beats her. This is not the first, second time, it's a routine. Okay, to the extent that when the neighbors heard him beating the wife, they did not even come, because they know that that's their usual drill. So that's to tell you how rampant it is. So unfortunately, the lady, he actually beat her to a point where she actually died. So yes, so I am all for, if you are being abusive physically, you should leave. But not even a but, rather, however, another aspect of abuse that we don't really focus on is emotional abuse. And I think this happens a lot in a lot of relationships, okay? And I think we don't give it more attention, because, emotional abuse is not direct. It's not like when someone slaps you, it has an abuse. Emotional abuse, sometimes you don't even recognize it easily. Sometimes it takes you to leave that toxic environment for you to look back and realize that, wow, all this while, I have been emotionally abused, you get. So that's why I feel like this topic is Okay, let's start. Okay, let's even start from the onset. Okay, what exactly is emotional abuse? And I'm not even going to
what this person said, this truth, because there was a time in my life where I couldn't process my own emotions properly myself, and so when I'm more of a person that I just like to be by myself. I like to handle my emotions by myself. I don't like to bleed on people, and I don't expect people to. I just did not feel the need to invite people into my life, and I didn't see the need for them to help me carry that burden. That's just the way it is. So, because I bottled in a lot of emotions, it was hard for me to express myself. So, in marriage, like in the early years of marriage, and even with my friendships, there were times that I used the silent treatment, and it wasn't because I wanted to.
Don't we all?
No, you know, I really want us to to point out this, because I know that a lot of people they use this silent treatment at a point in their life, or so they don't confuse that, or they don't think that is the only expression of emotional abuse. So for me, I used to give the silent treatment just because I did not want to bleed on people. I did not want to pour my emotions on people. I did not even understand how to pour my emotions. So the key word here is control. It's emotional abuse when someone is trying to, when someone is using that silent treatment, for example, as a form of control. He knows, is aware that this is your weakness. It knows that this is a point, something that, is critical to your mental health and your emotional well-being.